the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Is there someone here who'd like to do the invocation?
I pledge of allegiance. The pledge of allegiance?
No,
The invocation, the prayer.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I don't want to take it off if somebody wants to.
I did it last time. You did a very good job.
Okay. All those who would like to, please bow your head. Dear Lord, we give you thanksgiving for this beautiful day. We give you thanksgiving for this nation, thanksgiving for our freedom, thanksgiving for a government of self-determination, thanksgiving for this little town. We pray, Heavenly Father, that you will give us your guidance, civility, and good judgment as we try to do the best we can for this community. All in your precious name, amen. Who would like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Today is April 25, 2025. It is now 6:01 p.m. We are at the Port Royal Town Hall on King Street. This is a regularly scheduled town council meeting. Will the town manager please call the roll?
Mayor,
Present.
Ms. Golden,
Present.
Ms. Wilkerson,
Present?
and Ms. Chenault.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Are there any amendments, plus for changes on the agenda? Is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
I have received a request that we discuss festivals at some point.
Pardon me?
Festivals at some point.
I believe that's on the agenda.
Is it? I didn't see it. I don't see it.
No, it's not on the agenda.
Okay, would you like to put festivals at discussion items, make it 4-72?
Thank you.
4-7.2. Festivals. Thank you. Okay, any other changes? All in favor, is there a motion, who'd like to make a motion to accept the amended agenda?
I'll make the motion to accept the amended agenda.
Thank you, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made by Monica Chenault, seconded by Donna Wilkerson to accept the amended agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye? No, I'm sorry, we need roll call. Monica Chenault,
Yes.
Donna Wilkerson,
Yep.
Angela Golden.
Yes.
Alex Long, yes. Motion passed unanimous. Thank you. Next, we have training demonstration.
Can we just go back and mention that David Carpenter is absent
Probably.
for the record?
Yes, council member David Carpenter is not here tonight. He has a medical issue. And anything else? Thank you. Next on the agenda is training demonstration by Caroline EMS on defibrillator.
That was to be arranged by Mr. Carpenter, so we'll have to bypass that this evening.
Okay, we will postpone that. Public comment.
I do have public comment from Mr. Guzik by
Okay.
text. I don't know if anybody else has any, but I'll read his off. Okay. He said he wanted to be at the meeting. He's engaged and he was going to try to make it. He might be late. 2 items he was hoping to be discussed: the Fall Festival Pirate Day event, and hoping that the town will partner with HPR on this. The other item is to see what the timeline is on the final improvements to the town green. Angela's Golden's plan had shown an extension of the playground with added features for the kids. It looks like that is the only item that's outstanding. Hope it's a good meeting tonight. And then he said, please also mention that HPR will be featured on WTBR CBS 6 tonight at 11 p.m. and again on Saturday and Sunday regarding John Wilkes Booth's final days in Port Royal. The Mayfair event has been canceled. They had some issues with people that were going to be doing it. So they're going to be coming for 4th of July. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Public comment from Mr. Bill Kuzic is accepted and noted. We have no other public here. Let's see, reports, members of town council, the mayor. The mayor attended a session titled Go Virginia. Go Virginia, Mr. Anzavino is familiar with, I think. And that is economic development for various sections of Virginia. Our area geography goes from, Mr.
Gloucester in Matthews County on up to Stafford and Spotsylvania.
Thank you.
Everything in the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, and Radcliffe.
The mayor met Congressman Vindman again, and Mr. Congressman Vindman knows where Port Royal is, and should we have a problem, firmly believe that he would help us out. Met with several others, noted that daycare is an issue, healthcare is an issue as well in rural areas, and those are 2 issues that hopefully we can bring to the forefront in the comprehensive plan and have those as goals. Hopes the vitality of a town to be at the hub, the center of a geography for services that are needed. And indeed, we learned that daycare is needed. And obviously, if we get just a small urgent care, that would be beneficial to not just the town, but the people in the region. That's it. Of course, the other council members agree. Those are my comments. Monica Chenault.
Well, I would just like to say that you have 3 people sitting at this table who just had birthdays.
Yep.
Birthdays.
Oh,
So for celebration, myself, Donna, and John.
Happy
I
birthday,
don't know
everybody.
your birthday or your birthday, but thank you. And I thought since there was 3 of us, we better actually say something.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
May all have a continuous another great year around the sun.
David Carpenter is absent. Donna Wilkerson.
I have no reports at this time.
Angela Golden.
I don't know if this is the time to report on what's going on with the town green or at another time. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I wish we had put that as a
she's
separate,
got the signs on there.
separate item. Do we have it as an action
She
item?
has signs.
I don't know. I was going to address the public comment because there is a big update. I don't know at what point.
Yeah, thank you. Can we amend the agenda one more time and put discussion item 4-7.3 and Ms.
Well, can we
Gold,
just expand 4.7.1,
town green signage? Well, yeah,
town green issues?
and issues. Okay, we'll do that. by consensus. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what we'll do. Anything else, Ms. Golden?
No,
Thank you. Consent agenda minutes of the January meeting. We could not find the recording for the January meeting on the tape recorder. That's still pending. The March minutes, that's another issue. Mr. Anzavino, could you explain about minutes for March and our new helper?
A little bit later in the meeting, I'm actually asking your permission, or actually informing you that I've already made the decision to bring somebody on board just for a short period of time to help us with the minutes. You know, within the 10 hours per week that you pay me and the amount that you pay me, it's not productive to get the minutes under that contract, and nor is it realistic given what I've, stepped into as well as other things. So we have a local person. It's listed in the agenda. It was sent out in your packet to review. The memorandum had the description of the individual. Olfers is going to be working. She does the minutes for Historic Port Royal. Delightful young woman. I talked to her last Saturday, and we set the deal. She will work and complete the minutes at a rate of $20 per hour as opposed to $80 per hour. And so she's working on those minutes now. She's working off the YouTube video because we still do not have a recording. And I haven't spoken to her this week, but I know she is working on them. We'll have those for you next month.
Okay. While we're on that subject, do we need to have a motion to formally adopt her and pay her, or?
I've got that down here as temporary support services under 04-4.6.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Then we're at financial reports. Does the town manager have any comments on the financials?
I have a little bit more time to spend on this financial report this time around. I laugh because, it's not the best financial report from the standpoint of readability. But really, on your collections of taxes and revenues at the 3/4 mark of the year, 76%, so you're a little bit over the collections. And that is, I think you're probably going to collect a little bit more than that by the end of the year because of the coming of Royal Farms. They're really showing some strong revenues. I won't go into detail on that, but they're showing some strong revenues. Your expenses are many of them are under expended. With the cash reserves, the CDs, your bank balances that you have in the bank, which we're going to touch on that a little bit later because I can't access any of your accounts. We'll touch on that a little bit later as well. The town is financially healthy, and you're not in desperate straits. I've been in places where we had to count pencils, and it's not to say that you need to go out and start spending money wildly, but the fact of the matter is your budget's in good shape from a revenue collection standpoint, from an expenditure standpoint, and from the cash reserves that you've built over a period of time.
Thank you. Council members. Any council members have questions, comments?
Well, I know we're going to discuss this later, but the ARPA funds being on this sheet has an outgoing expense of $23,273.04 this month. It appears that came out of our general funds.
That's, typically what local governments do is when you have it, in the way, we haven't had a chance to work with Jackie Irvin very much, but at a point in time, you'll be making you'll replenish the general fund. But I haven't yet done into the CDs to determine where the money from the ARPA funds, which CD it is, or which CDs they are. Okay?
Point of fact, it doesn't matter. There is no quote unquote CD designated for ARPA, no one CD designated.
So let me understand. Okay, so all the cash that you have in reserves, unless it's designated water, okay, if you have a CD, that's everything mixed together.
Right.
So somebody should be keeping an accounting of, okay, so out of that, your ARPA expenditures will come. Okay, so you won't need to do any transfers or anything, other than you'll have to cash a CD to replenish the general fund
Correct.
cash. Okay, that's helpful. Okay,
It's, the key to it is, the balance sheet is the ledger, if you will.
yeah,
And the balance sheet says that our water accounts have X number of dollars, and then the
okay.
corporate.
Yeah, I'm used to a little bit more sophisticated level of accounting and transferring of funds and things like that, so we can work with
It's
that.
a little misleading.
Pardon me?
I said it's a little confusing, a little misleading when it's got it there, that it does look like it came out of
Right,
general
and it
funds
puts
and the
us at
CD's still sitting there.
and puts us at a negative balance.
Yeah, that's been a problem since the very beginning. Asked Accounts Inc. to set up ARPA money as a separate, just like we have water account as a separate account. That ARPA money should have been set up as a separate account. It never was.
Yeah, I'll see if we can go back and adjust that. See if she can adjust that. So
Well,
she did make a change in the budget, the financial report, I believe this month. She does show an ARPA line. She wasn't even showing an ARPA line in the past. So we do have an ARPA line in the budget, in the expenditure category. That's under, on the first page under ARPA funds, that's the $23,273.
I have 3 pages of ARPA and data from Accounts Inc., and I can't get any of it to match up.
Okay.
I'll leave this with you if you like it.
Yeah, I'd like it. Yeah, Ms. Golden and I have worked very closely based upon and I'll go over the whole ARPA history with you because I've traced it back. Everything has been done from the town side the right way and the best way possible in a community this size. The accounting has been just abysmal as far as how it's been handled by Accounts Inc. and how it was set up. There should have been a little bit more leadership to get in there, set up the account, say, this is what we got, get a line item in the budget, and then work through the process of the expenditures. That wasn't done. But we'll go back and we'll get that. We can fix that. Okay? Thank you. Thank you.
We're still on financials.
Yeah. Do you need a motion?
Are there any questions or comments further?
I don't know, I have to have this at home and look at it. I can't just, yeah, it's okay, so. We'll go by whatever you want.
And something very important for your benefit, and that is if you have something that you think is a red flag, you have a question about, you can always contact Mr. Anzavino or myself, or, I think it probably better one of us, and then we can contact Accounts Inc. But just because you don't get it tonight, Ms. Wilkerson,
Mhm.
and if you think it's important, it will be addressed.
Okay.
Okay. Is that fair?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the financials?
I make a motion to accept the financials.
Thank you. Motion made by Angela Golden to accept the financials. Is there a second?
I'd like to amend that just to say with the disclaimer for the ARPA funds that we are not negative $3,000 for this month.
Point of clarification on your request to amend the motion. It's not really that we're negative. It's, as Mr. Anzavino pointed out, an exercise in terrible, terrible accounting. The people at Accounts Inc. are lovely, wonderful people. I love them, but they're bookkeepers. They're not CPAs. You don't, it's QuickBooks. It's,
Exactly.
yeah, and we're gonna get that squared.
I agree, but this is an official document. And in the way that this is written,
Yeah.
if somebody was looking at it, they would think that
That we
we
were
are.
negative.
Okay,
And that's all I want to say, a disclaimer, that the ARPA funds have a separate funding source and it needs to come off of this. That's all I'm saying.
very good. Therefore, to put this into the minutes and recognize for the importance you attach to it, the maker of the motion to accept the financials was Angela Golden. Would the maker of the motion accept an amendment to that motion such that the motion is made subject to the caveat, the ARPA funds must be properly recognized and dealt with? Does that solve what you want?
I
Properly
would-
recognized and dealt with. It's
For
not,
appropriate funding source.
for appropriate funding source.
I make a motion to accept the amendment. I can't repeat everything he said, but I get it. I make a motion to accept the
Thank
amendment.
you. Motion made by Angela Golden to accept the amendment made by Monica Chenault. Is there a second, Ms. Wilkerson, from you to that amendment to the motion?
I thought she was seconding it.
Only asked for the amendment.
All right, I'll second it.
Thank you. Discussion, is there any discussion? Not hearing none. We're just voting on the amendment to the motion, and then we'll vote on the motion, okay? The amendment to the motion, all in favor, aye? Aye. Well, we can't do that. I'm sorry. Monica Chenault, how do you
Yes.
vote? Donna
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes.
Donna Wilkerson votes affirmative. Angela Golden.
Yes.
Angela Golden votes affirmative. Mr. Long votes affirmative. Motion passed on amending the amendment to the motion. We now have the motion on the floor. The motion stands on the floor presented. Is there a second to the amended motion?
I second it.
Monica Chenault seconded the motion. Discussion. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Chenault, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Ms. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Long votes yes. Thank you. Motion passed. Where are we now? Report concerning town attorney, Mr. Anzavino.
Mayor, members of council, I tried to send as much of these materials out in your package beforehand as possible, so you'd have an opportunity to maybe review them in advance. And if you haven't, that's fine. You have in your hard packet here in front of you the same information I sent out. I think it was Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning. I searched, I contacted a number of potential candidates to serve as your town attorney. It's important that you have legal representation as a town because you've got a lot of things going on. First of all, you've got a comprehensive plan update coming down the pike. You've got zoning issues that may need to have some questions responded to by a legal source, and someone at a higher level than your town manager. I've been, as I walked through the budget, and it's in my budget message, which is in your packet here, and I didn't get out until today. I apologize for that. There will probably be a need to have some more aggressive collection of business licenses and possibly meals tax, and who that's handled by. The town attorney will have some advice on. But the fact of the matter is, it's important to have a town attorney for a community. Unfortunately, that's the way the world works today. Your former town attorney, Timothy Wiley, resigned, as did your previous town attorney. And so I reached out to 4 firms in the general area. I also reached out to some of the small towns in the area, the town of Montrose, the town of Whitestone, down around Kilmarnock. And they have individuals who live in the community that don't really want to expand their horizons in those small towns. So I contacted 4 firms, Green, Tavis, and Pandak out of Woodbridge. Sharon Pandak was a former Prince William attorney. She would have been ideal. She's an expert in land use and local government stuff. They closed their doors on March 31st because the workload and because they're, like me, getting more senior in years. Also contacted Hefty and Wiley, your former attorneys. They have a heavy workload, declined to provide a quote. Also reached out to Mark Flynn. Mark Flynn has submitted a proposal. Mark Flynn I've known for a number of years. He was the city of Winchester attorney. He was an attorney. He was the attorney for the Virginia Municipal League for a number of years. He's been the state aviation commissioner, heading up the aviation department. He's back in practice. Those appointments come and go with elected officials at the gubernatorial level, so he was not reappointed with the current governor. But he is currently representing King William County, and he's a really good, he's a sole practitioner. He's really good to work with. I've known him for a number of years. Also had a proposal from Sands Anderson, which is a larger firm down in Richmond. They are a comprehensive firm. They can handle everything from litigation to civil rights issues to human resources issues to land use issues. You name it, they can do it because they've got an attorney on board. They're mostly made up in their local government practice of former local government attorneys. They come at a little bit higher price. Mark's at a rate of $300 per hour and doesn't charge any expenses for travel. Sands Anderson ranges from $260 to $450 depending upon what level of attorney you need. It's all included in the proposals, which are included in your packet. I don't think you need to make a decision tonight on anything because there's a lot of information to read here. I would urge you to read through this and set some time aside in the near future to interview one or both of these attorneys so that you can make a decision.
They come up here for free.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Sorry, go ahead. I had a question.
yes, ma'am.
This would be on as needed basis,
Yes.
not as a,
This is not a retainer. It's in the memo. It's an on-call basis. When you need them, they come up, they give you the advice, they go back. But they are attorney of record, but there's no retainer. You don't get any number of hours that you have to expend.
and they would be willing to go to court if they had to, like on a
If they had to, if the town is sued, you're insured by the Virginia Municipal League, and they will appoint counsel for a number of different areas of litigation. When I served as interim manager in Percival, they appointed an attorney to represent the town in conjunction with some aspects of the litigation. So that's part of your premium that you pay.
I was thinking about, more so on the local level, like if we had to go for violations or things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just,
So both of them would be willing to do that because all the attorneys we've had before wouldn't do that.
I specifically, I knew that. I specifically said to both firms, I said, this is not a retainer level engagement. I said, this is an on-call engagement, and they both agreed to that. Okay.
Big difference in reading material.
I know, I got to 40 pages and I was like, later. I did read Mark Flynn's, and I'll read this one now that you've printed it off. Thank you very much.
Town council members, by consensus, I don't think we need a motion. Would you all agree that we have Mr. Flynn and someone from Sands Anderson come up and speak to us at our May council meeting?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go around. Ms. Golden,
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mr. Knoll?
Yes.
Mr. Long, yes. By consensus then, we've agreed to request Mr. Flynn and someone from Sands Anderson come to our meeting in May, and we'll put that at the very front part of the agenda. So that makes sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent news.
Let's see, town attorney. We're back to Mr. Anzavino, monthly report of activities.
Okay, I've included in your package, this is a monthly update. I used to do it on a weekly basis, but providing a report on a weekly basis for the level of activity here isn't really practical. So you'll get it on a monthly basis. Just real quick on finance, you've got your draft fiscal year 26 budget, and I'll go over that in a little bit. The audits are still ongoing. I've discovered the fiscal 21 audit and have it under review. I'm talking to Virginia Resources Authority because they're breathing down the town's neck for audits. I'm also talking to your current auditor about completing the fiscal 22 audit, getting that to the council for review and approval. Then I'm trying to talk to firms to seek a proposal or seek proposals for your fiscal 23, 24, and 25 audits because you're falling way behind. It's not a real big problem here because you've got such a small budget. But I can tell you, when I was in Bowling Green, they were 4 or 5 years behind, and they're still digging out because their records were in terrible shape. Your records are in a little bit better shape, and you do have Accounts Inc., which has a lot of the information readily accessible. So, but it's important to get those going. As soon as I get those proposals, if I get some, we'll get them to you so you can talk to these auditors and see what level of audit they're going to perform for you, because I know it's important for you to have an accurate and true accounting of what your expenses, what your revenues have been, what the activities have been, and to make sure that there's no deficiencies in the accounting of public funds. So,
May I ask again, who is asking for the audit?
VRA, there's a letter in your packet, which is at the end of the packet. It's a communication. I just, full disclosure, I'm not one to hide things away. So VRA is, on, and also the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, fortunately with them, the person that I corresponded with, she is now out on 6-month leave. So it's kind of cool that it's cooling its jets a little bit, gives us a little bit more time. We've coded all of your invoices and cataloged your revenues. We've got them Accounts Inc. Your revenue collections are real healthy for this time of year, and your expenditures are really pretty low. Technology issues. I have an information technology person who specializes in smaller public entities, who works with the town of Whitestone, which is about the same size as Port Royal, coming in on May the which is a Tuesday. He and I will spend some time together. He's going to assess your system. We're going to look at security issues. He's going to give us a suggestion of recommended improvements. And he's going to help me crack some of the passwords, I hope, that we still need to crack. So he will be coming in, very efficient guy, really good guy to work with. I've talked to Davis and Associates about, as I said, about the audits. They are moving along with them, but I got a sense, and I did a little research on them, and they do a lot of private accounting as well, that I think they got sidelined by April 15th, and probably taxes. So I'm going to reach out to her again next week to see exactly where we are, because she promised me the fiscal 22 audit some time ago. I'm preparing summaries of the town's business licenses. I've prepared summaries of the town business licenses, as well as meals tax, who's paying meals tax, and tracking the revenues for meals tax on a monthly basis to make sure that they're up to date. I've also set up separate files for all the meals tax collections that we receive. There's nothing in the files on that. So you have the hard copies of that here in the files for your new manager to examine when they come in and know that folks are, meeting the requirements of the ordinance.
Yeah, excuse me, Commissioner Nelson.
Yes, with the cigarette taxes, I know that that is handled by a third party, but would there be a file set up for tracking for that as well?
Yeah.
Because it's my understanding we have a fourth business that is selling cigarettes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Who's the fourth business?
The one by the water?
The tobacco place?
They're not on the list.
Yep. You're a representative of the cigarette tax board, right?
I think they
Yes.
sell no cigarettes.
And I think you,
They should still be taxing for the
No, I
vape.
said I think they sell the most. I mean, a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of people stop there for cigarettes.
Oh, really?
I never see any cars there.
That's what I was thinking.
and I think you've notified the cigarette.
I did notify them when I officially said, because you saw they sent us, somebody else was on our list that didn't belong on our list. And I was like, wait a minute, we're supposed to have this business, and this business, but I couldn't remember the vape shop's name. So I said, the vape shop.
Yeah, the one thing that when they collect cigarette taxes, they don't often name the individual business. If the business has a vendor which stamps the cigarette tax on the pack that they buy the cigarettes from, that's who that is represented by that name.
But they only had three
Yeah, they only have three.
entities listed, and there should be four.
Right. I appreciate you doing that.
Orange, Willow Farms, the little gas station.
Lee's.
Mhm.
And what about, is Cane's included? in that
No,
one or
that's
no?
not important.
He's just over the line.
Just over the line.
Okay, we resolve, Ms. Granzavino.
Yep. On your town manager, clerk, zoning administrator, recruitment, we were supposed to have a meeting last Friday. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We have it tonight. So at the end of this meeting, you'll get the packet that I had for last week. On planning and zoning activities, I'm surprised that you have the level of activity of interest in the town that you do. I've had a lot of questions about prospective businesses locating in town in the business district, and I've worked with them to help them understand the regulations and the zoning ordinance. We also have some residents who want to develop their property a little bit more to a little bit higher use that have separate lots. So I'm working with them as well, just to make sure that they fully understand what's required and they don't go off on a tangent. We have an excellent relationship with the Caroline County Building Office. They won't issue a building permit until they have a zoning permit from the town. And so we had actually a change out from a diesel to gas generator for one of the antenna sites for communications here in town. And They
Say that again one more time, I'm sorry.
changed out the generator, the backup generator from diesel to natural gas, to propane, sorry.
Oh,
And, the county would not issue the permit for the installation of the propane tanks until they had our zoning permit.
Great.
So actually had a call from a plumbing firm up in King George who was putting on a new electrical panel on a house to power a guy's well, which doesn't require a zoning permit because that's just, it's not changing the use of the property or expanding the use of the property. County wouldn't issue the building permit for that either until they talk to us. So it's really good. There's a really good relationship there with the county, and I think you should be pleased as a governing body with that relationship. Mr. Salzgiver has a box over there, demolition box, and he's still cleaning the site up. The tent's down.
so he still owns it.
Still does. Yep. And he has planned to turn it into an antique store, but that's coming along very slowly. I had a really good conversation with the vice mayor last Friday night about some of the problems with that, because there's not much in the files here on those types of things. But so we're tracking that one as well.
I
Yeah,
just have
that's-
I'm sorry.
With the building, I don't know if you know, but my husband knew that it's full of asbestos.
That's what Miss Shaw
Okay,
told me.
did-
Yep.
Okay, good.
And it's also full of rodents and rats.
Yeah.
He has no back door. And when it snowed, I could see the little footprints going in and little footprints coming out. There's no, if you notice, he's putting antique stuff in there, but how value could it, if, when you go in the post office, if you turn around and look, there's no door on the back.
Yeah.
And I have not actually seen it, but I've seen the little footprint. As a matter of fact, I started taking pictures. I have them somewhere on my phone of the little footprints in the snow. Coming in and coming out.
Yeah, I might see him at my house too, in the basement. But anyway, he can't put anything in there till he gets rid of all that asbestos, right? And then
It's
he'd have to have
packed to
it
the
inspected
gills. He's been
again.
putting antique stuff in there.
It-
You can see it all the way from the front of the window now. You can see everything is
It
packed.
probably came out of the tent.
Yeah, that's what I shared, is that it's been so long since we brought it up
Mhm.
years ago. I said, I don't know if he's had any abatement done or not.
I doubt it.
Okay, under general administration, we're cataloging all of your door keys and keys to whatever we got. They were thrown just into the desk drawer, and
Mhm.
we now have a really nice little key cabinet up on the wall, and the keys are getting marked and put in the key cabinet. So whomever comes and follows me, or whoever follows the next person, will know where the keys are, and they'll all be cataloged.
Is there a key now for that?
Yes, I found it. I did.
Had to use a machete to get a
Yeah, yeah.
envelope out of it, almost cut. So
Key for what?
The mailbox, right?
Yeah.
The mailbox.
and did you get a key to this lock here
Which lock is?
on the door?
I haven't tried it.
We kind of left that lock off, didn't we? I thought.
We unhinged it, because I took
Because
it
there's
off. I
nothing-
screwed it off.
There's nothing like,
It's been redone. It's
Okay.
been reattached.
there's nothing in there
There's
that
nothing in there.
needs to have a lock on. There's never been one on there. It was just put on
Okay.
at the last minute.
We also I've had conversations with website developers that specialize in smaller entities, smaller local governments, and there's money proposed in your budget for retooling your website. It's about $5,000. It's a one-time fee. You'll be able to maintain it yourself or with the assistance of the IT person that you bring on board, if you bring somebody
Okay.
on board.
But we still have to have the domain name.
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's locked up, and you're not gonna get it unless you get the passwords.
Yep.
We used to have the password.
Did you find a sheet somewhere in those file cabinets with all the passwords were listed?
Mhm.
There's one in there.
Because I had the password and I forgot it.
If there's no file in those that I've been able to find that says passwords, but
Oh,
maybe
it wasn't in a file, it was just,
But I'll go back through all the files again. I've been through them twice, but I'll go back through them again. Recodification, I've talked to Unicode, and everything's on hold until you, as you know, continue to revise your ordinances. Office schedule, here is proposed, and you've also got a copy that I had provided to you tonight, which is the nice looking copy, which we'll place outside. Commissioner Hall, if you would put that up on the website or on the,
Both
You-
places,
Yeah.
post office and the website.
yeah,
Well, excuse me,
I can
say point of clarification.
Not
You actually mean Facebook.
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 Mhm.
yep. But
All right.
I'll be here on Thursdays with the exception of, council meeting day, which there are 5 Fridays in May. Do you meet the 5th Friday or the 4th Friday?
I believe it's the 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, so May 23rd. Oh, excuse me, May 23rd. Okay. Well, that concludes that report.
Thank you, sir. Board, commission, agency representatives. The planning commission,
Mayor, we've also got, presentation of the budget, ARPA funding report, designation of banking center contacts, and temporary support services under that report item.
well, I thought you went through it.
I was with that
You
report.
just paused.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, the big item, and we're getting kind of a late start on this, and I apologize. Days tend to slip by very quickly. But you had a proposed budget this evening, and you've got the sheets, which the mayor was gracious enough to take the Excel sheets and blow them up so that they're readable. And you also have a memorandum in your packet, which was not in your electronic packet because it was just completed yesterday, but memorandum in your packet, which kind of is a budget message to you and has some discussion about the budget process. It has some discussion about your revenues, your expenditures, and it also has some detail on the proposed expenses and how they differ from the current year. It also proposes a budget adoption schedule. We have 2 alternatives to choose from, and then I've provided some recommendations for you to get involved in the budget process and to maybe adjust your budget process for next year, working with your new manager. And introducing this, I've done more than 25 public sector budgets in my career, some of the upper limits of $45, $50 million. And you have a budget which is about $250,000. But this was a challenging budget just by the fact that we don't have a lot of well, we have history, but there's no context to the history. It's just numbers. And so for the current year, for example, just to use your meals tax projections, you have $100,000 projected in revenues to be received in the current fiscal year for meals tax. Well, I've been tracking one of your new businesses, Royal Farms, very carefully since they came online with their January, February, and March collections. That if they were included in your projections for 6 months, they weren't, okay, then you would be in excess of your projections. But if they weren't, you're going to be in excess of your projections considerably, probably by maybe 35, 40%. Next year, you will be, I've kept it very, because I didn't have the context, it's still the same amount. So you can expect somewhat of a windfall in the coming fiscal year on meals tax if the economy holds up and if the revenues continue to be collected as anticipated. Just that, and meals tax makes up almost 70% of your revenues in your general fund budget. So that's some good news for you. On the expenditure side, your expenditures have been revised somewhat to take into account that you will be hiring a new town manager, clerk, treasurer, zoning administrator. And we use the amount in the advertisement, which the council approved, as the personnel charges. And in the on the first page of this memorandum, you've got a summary of your personnel charges, your miscellaneous charges, your purchase services, which is grass cutting and things like that, utility costs, which is electricity for your streetlights and things like that, and required disbursements. That's for the volunteer fire department. You get money in, money out through the state, and that comes through revenues collected on insurance premiums. So you've got a proposed general fund budget in 2026 of $193,265 of expenses. And that includes almost a $10,900 transfer or hold in reserves. So that's undesignated at this time. So there's some cushion in the budget still with that. In your utilities budget, that's held fairly constant. I had a long conversation with the Director of Public Utilities, and we believe that, the operational costs for the system are just fairly static. Not much is going up. You will be facing, and it's noted in the report, in the memorandum, and we haven't pinned it down when it's got to be done by, but you're in the groundwater monitoring area or groundwater protection area. As the Eastern Groundwater Protection Area is designated by DEQ. And the town subscribed to that and is part of that plan some 10 years ago. And it requires that monitoring wells be drilled for your supply wells. And in talking to the Director of Public Utilities, they're having it done in Caroline County now. They will have it done under the agreement that you have with them, but they will come and talk to you first about it because that is something that they will handle for you, but they won't make that commitment to that type of expense until they have the approval of the council. Okay, that's written into your agreement. I did find that. And by the way, that will be up for renewal in 2026. So your utilities budget is $72,000 in, $72,000 out, roughly, with a healthy dose going into reserve. I would note that I think it's wise that the town, and nobody likes to hear this, but if you don't do it and you get caught from behind when you do need to do it, you're going to get just as much grief as if you do it in small bites. But I'm suggesting that you and your new manager take a look at revenues, expenses, and needs of the system, have a good meeting with Caroline Utilities, and begin to consider some rate increases because the cost of water is doing nothing but going up for production and for caring for your system. And you still have significant debt. So that's just a word about utilities, but no rate increase for this year because we didn't have the time to go in and analyze the detail of what may need to be done. And, it's something that I think you need to talk to the utilities folks about. On the revenue side, no tax increases or rate increases. I have recommended that working again with your new manager, I'm setting the stage for a new manager coming in because I'm not going to be here forever. Okay. If I were, I would need a lot more hours to get these things done. You have those budgeted for your new manager at a more affordable rate than what you're paying me for what I'm doing. I don't mind it, but I'm not going to be here forever. So I'm recommending that you also take a look at your planning and zoning fees. They are very low, and they should more reflect the cost that goes into an analysis or gathering data on a zoning permit, or because zoning permits can be very time consuming depending upon what the request is and how it fits into your zoning ordinance. I think that you have a very simple planning and zoning fee system. I think that could be expanded. You got zoning permits, from what I've been able to find, you've got sign permits. And beyond that, had a hard time finding any other authorized revenues in planning and zoning. So I think you need to begin to take a look at that. And this is the hard one. Okay, and I can do this because I don't live here, but I need to be honest with you. You're one of few towns in Virginia that does not have a more stable source of revenue, the real estate tax. You set the tax aside when you went through the annexation process, I understand, some 10 years ago. And there was a moratorium, I guess. It's not a good word, but you had a 10-year reprieve. Folks had a 10-year reprieve in paying real estate taxes. Real estate taxes are the most stable source of income that a locality has. In the case of towns, it's not always the primary source of income. I know when I was in Warrenton as the town manager, we watched our meals tax grow and eclipse the real estate tax. And that was a community with a whole lot of value in the community with both business and residential. I know the town of Urbana where I live. They collect more in meals tax. No, they collect almost as much in meals tax as they do in real estate taxes. But it's a stable source of income. I'm not proposing it for this year, but I think you need to begin talking about it and you need to begin thinking about it, because if the town of Port Royal, you have opportunities, and you're conservative, I know that, but at the same time, if you want the town to improve, you have to make some investments and you have to have the resources to do that. So I'm just suggesting that you take a look at that. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but it's something that as a professional, I don't think I would be acting in a responsible manner if after examining your budget and looking at the trends and hearing things that you would like to do, it wouldn't be responsible for me to just say, okay, well, there's no other revenue sources. And that is one that you should consider.
I have a question about that.
Yep.
That's in addition to paying Caroline County real estate tax?
Yep, that's the trouble that you have with it. Towns are overlay districts for counties in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You're not an independent city. If you were in a city, you would have more responsibility for delivery of service, but you'd also have your own taxes. You know, the real estate tax, personal property tax would be solely yours. In a town, on personal property, on real estate, you are an overlay and your rate goes on top of the county's and it goes directly into town services. Well, you know, you pay for streetlights now. Okay, that's nice, but you need a source of revenue. Currently, it's the meals tax. But what else do you want to do in town here? I mean, do you want to begin more aggressively developing your zoning ordinance? Are you going to have a zoning administrator beyond the town manager? What do you want to do? Do you want to improve the appearance of the town? What investments do you want to make? Those are all the things that you should be talking about before you make any decision like that. You need to be thinking about it. You need to think about who you'll be working with. It's going to be the Commissioner of Revenue and the Treasurer of Caroline County. And most towns and counties have arrangements with the Treasurer and the Commissioner. The Commissioner will do the assessment. You'll have your own real estate book section, and the Treasurer will do the collection of the taxes, maybe with a fee. I don't know how it would work here in Caroline County, but they would remit the money to you just like we do now for collection of utility bills. But you have to have some discussion with them too. You just can't say, well, we're going to do real estate tax and say, hey guys, you're going to collect this and you're going to assess this. Constitutional officers just don't react well when you do those types of things. So I'm just saying, think about it, have some discussion about it, because it will buffer you in times when restaurants close or when there's a significant downturn in the economy and people aren't passing through and buying meals here. Just a thought. On your expenses, salary and benefits for the manager's position have been allocated in one lump sum for salary. There's a small amount designated for administrative support for preparation of council minutes, if you should require that. It's $1,000. I've continued the videotaping of town council meetings. That's $150 per meeting times 12, which is $1,800. That's built into your budget. You're doing it on a trial basis now, but it seems to be working out, and it will be attached to your website once you get access to it. I've built in funds for a new website for the town. I mentioned that I had talked to some website developers. There's $5,000 built in there. And there's $7,000 total in that category. The other $2,000 would be for IT support, should it be necessary. There's $5,000 built in for updating the town's comprehensive plan. Your comprehensive plan, I think you all know, is woefully out of date and really needs to be adjusted to really begin to consider the annexed area. And that's going to be handled these are expenses for your planning commission. They're not going to get paid to do it, but they will need some access to some funds to be able to do this. So that's what those funds are for. I've also, because you're going to be updating your comprehensive plan and because you want to become a better planned and managed community, I've included $3,750 for attendance of your planning commission members at the Virginia Certified Planning Commissioners Institute at VCU. That's $750 for 5 folks. It's about a 3-month-long course. The beginning is on-site, in between is virtual, and then the end is on-site. So those folks will be attending that. When they become certified planners, they have a much stronger knowledge base in the legal basis of planning and comprehensive planning, in zoning administration, zoning ordinances, and just have a better understanding of really what good planning is, how it works, and they're exposed to what other communities are doing as well. It's a really good investment in training for those folks.
They have a test like at the end of it that they complete,
That I don't know.
because if some of it's virtual, I
Yeah,
don't know if all of them are gonna go online and look at it.
that's a good question. I don't know if they're tested. I wouldn't hazard a guess to respond positively. I'll look into that for you. And then finally, in utilities, you've got built into your utilities budget, you have an administrative fee for Caroline County. That's been kind of, I don't know. The way that works is the expenses are tallied up during the year. You budget a certain amount, the expenses are tallied up during the course of the year. At the end, you have a true up. That is where the county and the town sit down, and the county says, well, we invested this much in sending staff up. There were permits to be obtained. There was testing. These are all the things that went into operations. It's either above or below what you originally projected. If it's below, they'll give you a rebate of what you've already paid. If it's above, then you owe them some more money. And the town manager really needs to be monitoring that a little bit more closely as to what's happening with that. Your new manager needs to be monitoring that. And Caroline Utilities is really easy to work with. They're good folks and they do a good job and they're responsive to your questions. My exposure to them and the director is just in Bowling Green and in here in Port Royal has just it's been really a good relationship. But he did inform me again, and I'll just let you know that this well is on the horizon. It's either in the coming year, he doesn't know yet. He's checking on it. It's either in the coming year or the following year, maybe the year beyond that. It could be in a range of his projection based upon the folks that they're working with now is somewhere between $65,000 and $100,000 in investment. So it's not built into your budget, but again, it's something that you should be thinking about.
Actually, I think we should start with a increase in the water rate in this budget.
Okay. But we'll need to do some research on that and, you know.
We don't have 100,000 for capital.
Well, it's something to be thinking about, and I'll go back and research that, and before we advertise the budget, because you need to advertise the rate increase at the
Right.
time you advertise the budget. And we're running, I'll tell you what, it's April, but we're running out of time because you have some state mandates to meet.
We're in May.
Almost.
We have some state mandatory requirements for advertising and adoption. You have to-
Right. Well, do you think we could have a work session on the budget? We just spend time on the budget.
Sure.
And,
I've suggested that. Now, I've got two options here for you as far as budget adoption, okay? The first one, if you just wanted to move ahead from tonight and everything was hunky-dory and you didn't want to have any, or you didn't want to really talk about rate increases, we'd advertise the budget no later than May 9th, with a second advertisement of the 16th. Public hearing through May 23rd, meeting and adoption anytime after May 30th. That's the accelerated schedule. If the council desires to have a work session, and I kind of thought you might want to do that prior to advertising, work session to be held on the budget no later than May 30th for advertising purposes. First week in June, no later than June 6th. That's the initial advertisement. Then you have to advertise the following week on June 13th. You have to wait 7 days before you adopt. And your next meeting is on, your public hearing would be no later than June 20th with an adoption date of June 27th, which is your council meeting.
what if we had a work session sometime in May, early May, and then we could, well, we have to have a special meeting then to adopt. Can we adopt a budget or not so much adopt the budget, but present the final budget for advertising at a work session?
You could continue this meeting
Yeah,
to an acceptable date
okay,
for a work session.
that's a ticket. Okay, people, what day in, say, week of May 5 through 9?
I have no clue. I don't have anything.
Yeah, you did good work, Stan Savino. It's just to do our duty as we should. It's an important issue. It deserves time and attention.
I would expect that. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
We can do the 5th, 6th, or 9th. After work, to clarify.
So that'd be what, 6:30?
Well, 6 is fine.
6, okay.
6 to what?
May,
No, I'm at 6 p.m. until, did you say the 5th? I'm sorry.
Yeah, 5th,
Did you say
6th, and 8th.
the
I mean
5th?
9th.
The 5th, 6th, and, okay, I thought you were talking
Monday,
about time.
Tuesday, and Friday.
and then we were talking about,
And then I said after work, because it's.
no, Ms. Golden had a good point. We were talking time, 6 or 6:30, and then she was also talking about dates. So.
Okay, you lost me somewhere in there. I got it now, but what time? I just need to know what time, so.
So if we're looking at, do you think an hour or 2 hours is what we're asking?
Why don't we, we'll cap it at, say, an hour and a half. We'll have to get it done because Mr. Anzavino has about an hour and a half trip back home, right?
Just now,
Pardon me?
an hour.
1 hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hour and a half is okay. So you said the 5th?
It's Monday. That would be the best, because I could actually start it.
I hate
He
to
can't.
see, but my wife was having cataract surgery that day and I'm gonna have to be with her.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's out. What about the 9th?
What
Ninth
day
is good for me.
You can tell we're party animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I told somebody the other day, we were meeting on Fridays, and they were like, they started laughing.
Okay, what about May 9th, Friday at 6 p.m.?
All right, I can,
Does that work for Ms. Golden?
I'll reschedule my kids till Saturday, yeah.
Ms. Wilkerson?
I don't know, I don't have my physical therapy log with me, I have no clue.
May 9th, you
Yeah.
said 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. Mr. Knoll?
Yes. works.
Mr. Long's good for the 9th, and Mr. Anzavino's good for the 9th.
Do we need to have the work session recorded?
I don't think Mr. Voigt needs to be here for the work session.
Just to clarify.
I mean, if you really want to be here, I think the town's happy to pay you, but
Is that gonna be your whole business presentation?
it'll be, that's a good point. Why don't we get a resolute, motion to have a work session May 9 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of, arriving at a budget. Would someone like to make that motion?
I make a motion.
Ms. Golden made a motion that town council has a work session May 9 at 6 p.m., the purpose of which is to establish a budget for the town. That's the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Knoll seconds the motion. Discussion? Discussion, hearing none. Mr. Knoll, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
I guess yes, since I don't know what my schedule is yet.
Thank you. Ms. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Long votes yes. Please note that we need to get this written up and posted on the Facebook page and also posted hard copy on the door of Town Hall, hard copy in the post office for the work session. Okay, that resolves that. I think we've done the budget. Franzino, you're down to ARPA.
Yes, sir. Also included in your packet, both electronically and hard copy tonight, is discussion about the ARPA funding and how it's been expended. Because there was some discussion about this at the March 21st meeting. It's clear that the town has received the funds. We received two disbursements, equal disbursements of $59,902.50 in 21 and 22. And those came through the state, through the Commonwealth, because that's how the ARPA program funds came out. They were allocated by the state. I understand they were invested in a certificate of deposit at that time or somewhere. So I've listed out your certificates of deposit here, and as I just learned a little while ago, these really have no meaning other than they're certificates of deposit, and they're not tied to any particular fund. So within the total certificates of deposit here is the $119,000, minus that which has already been expended, and that will have to be determined.
That's the important thing. That's whether the money's sitting in a CD, which CD, irrelevant, we can cash them. The money is fungible. That's
Yeah.
most important.
It's there.
It's fungible. Oh, that's the other important word. There.
It's
It's there.
It's there.
One thing that's important though is that the town, remember early COVID, we bought, $10,000 worth of masks, and we still have the chlorine machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all the chlorine that goes with it.
Yeah, early COVID, the town bought $10,000-15,000 worth of junk, to protect ourselves. To protect the townspeople.
Those were bought out of another grant program. They were not built, they were not purchased under ARPA. They were purchased under the the initial program. There were two programs.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that has
you're
a
satisfied? I'm
That
satisfied.
had a different name.
Okay,
Well,
Here.
yeah, the
CARES,
CARES Act,
yeah.
which also help people pay the water bill.
Yep.
Oh, so
Okay,
that's not under ARPA either, because it has utility relief funds. That was under the CARES Act, right?
Yeah.
okay. Well, based upon the report that's documented, some of the money for utility relief was taken out of the ARPA money as well.
It was supposed to be the CARES Act, because that's,
Yeah, we didn't
Well,
have ARPA funds. yet.
That's the report that's documented as of 11/23/2023. So, okay, in any event,
That's not right.
the way you got to the expenditures on your ARPA funds were that there was a committee appointed of the town council this is in the minutes, in 2022. The committee consisted of Mayor Long, Councilmember Golden, and your town manager. And that they were supposed to develop a plan for the expenditure of funds. Appears that the committee was relatively inactive, and there's no activity reports or discussion about the committee meeting. After any reports on ARPA after 11/23/2023. It is my understanding when Mayor resigned, that left two members of the committee, the town manager and Ms. Golden, and that there was no council member or elected official appointed to fill the third seat. There's no evidence of that. Because the deadlines were approaching and you had to have an allocation of funds and get things underway because all the funds have to be expended. The town manager at that time delegated responsibility for developing a plan to Ms. Golden. And there had been some expenses that the town council had approved, but then it fell on Ms. Golden to work up a plan and to get things done. And I have been working with her, and I would note that what she has accomplished and what funds are allocated for and obligated to and have been expended on, all are beneficial to the town, are well thought out, and she has done her due diligence to competitively price everything that was part of the purchases. So, running through the table on, and I'm a terrible secretary. I don't label my pages in my reports, but it's page 2 of the report. And it's the ARPA funds history from 2021 to 25. The report of 11/23 noted utility funds and the amount noted. Town playground equipment, that was a green playground frog that was installed. The town hall roof, the AED device that you all were supposed to be trained on tonight, and then new windows at town hall. All those expenses have been completed. In addition to that, and planned and in process was the power washing and painting of town hall, and the painting is now done. The empty cans have been cataloged, and they're stored in the new storage building.
Mhm.
And the building looks good. Now, we do have a little bit of paint left over, and Mr. Fortune is going to paint the rails because the rails are a little bit different shade than the trim of the windows and the trim around the building. So he'll paint those. So the building was power washed before it was painted. And then the paint for town hall is included. That was all at an expense of around $5,516. And in the right column is the running total of what's left. On-site park improvements, there was a storage shed and a pavilion purchased and installed, or purchased between 11/23/23 to 12/31/24. Both those have been installed. Those were a total cost of $17,772.96. On-site park improvements post 12/31/24. Some plannings, and there is a sketch. There's the original sketch, and then there's the revised sketch of what is going on back behind this building. There are some plannings that have been done by Green Acres Nursery. There's some mulch which is on order for the playground. It hasn't been delivered yet, I don't believe.
They have the money. I asked them to hold it since everything else was held up because I didn't want people to come and start taking mulch.
Yep. So that has been ordered, but it has not yet been delivered because the playground equipment hasn't been installed. There's coated outdoor furniture, which has been delivered. New playground equipment, which has been ordered. There's concrete mix and timber materials for the playground equipment and the border of the parking lot that's ordered. Labor costs have been calculated as noted. And so the playground upgrade has a total of $22,280.57. That leaves you with a balance of $87,995.33 according to the running total based upon the data, the information I have. And then there's flag banner replacement. The flags that the town, most towns fly, have been ordered. Matter of fact, I think most of them are over here. Most of them came in today.
I called them this morning and they said they were returned because they had the wrong address. I thought those were those over there.
Yeah, they were delivered by UPS today. So the cost for those was, and we have new hardware as well, which Mr. Fortune is going to mount on the poles.
We did already.
Okay, it's mounted. So you have a balance of $2,500 and $2,503.52 in the ARPA funds. Originally, Ms. Golden was planning on some new town hall and park signage. New sign for town hall, something for the green, a new message center. And rather than sticking stuff on your door, the town of Bowling Green has a really nice little message center. So, and then there's a park rules sign. You don't want to just send folks out there and have them going all night long. So, Ms. Golden has been looking at park rule signs, and you can get them through canned presentations.
Oh, well, I got it custom, so you could put if you wanted for something.
But everything that would need to be done of signage, if the council has no objection to it, would have to fall within the $2,503.52 budget that's left over. And then
what?
$2,503.52, which remains as far as unobligated funds. Everything would have to fall in or below that. And you'd have a message board, you'd have some park signage, and some updated signage for this building. Site plan and the revised site plan, as I said, is attached to this. This was thought out, it just wasn't thrown together. And so you've got a good investment in upgrades for the youth of the community. And you've got a lot of good improvements to this building that really probably need to be done that you don't have to pay for because it came out of the ARPA funds. But
Excuse me, one thing that really needs to be done, I don't know if we've ever had the building treated for termites or inspected.
we have a pest control service.
We do?
Yes, we do. We have a
Okay, good.
We have a contract for that. But I will check with them. Check with them to make sure that they're doing.
I never really had
I've never seen it in the bills.
I think Allison had that done because they saw, didn't somebody come in there? A termite thing?
Oh, yeah, because we had that spider problem.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
came in, but I can't remember which company. Was it the ones right across the street?
I can't remember the name of the company. I just authorized payment for them
Yeah.
for an
Because we
inspection.
were
just
infested
recently.
with spiders.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
We're good.
they sprayed.
But I'll check on the termite inspection, make sure they're doing the termite inspection.
Yeah. Yes, because they were coming to that threshold going into the office.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's kind of the summary of how.
Okay, very good.
Came
Thank
in.
you.
Okay. Moving on, official bank contact designee. You know, I think you all know that I've been frustrated since I've been here. I've had to recreate passwords, find files, and sometimes the files don't exist. And we just haven't had a whole lot of cooperation in getting information from the former manager. She just doesn't want to talk to us for whatever reason. But I just found out recently, well, I found out when I had a questionable expense on credit cards that that the subcontractor for Atlantic Union Bank couldn't talk to me, so I'm getting that changed. Because there was only a sole designee to speak on behalf of the town to the credit card company, or their designee, or the bank's designee. The bank has been sending bank statements to an email address that I have no record of. It's townofportroyal.va, 1744.va.
That's dangerous. That is very, very dangerous.
Is that Terry's old?
That
That's,
is from that
that's their
time.
fault.
So,
Hadn't been
It hasn't been
updated.
going to Terry for years.
but bank was trying to reach Allison Fincham. And I called them back and they said, well, we can't talk to you. You're not a signatory. And I said, okay. But I said, we need to know more information about the interest being earned on our CDs, about our accounts.
Okay,
But so here's the remedy. Included in the memorandum is a proposed motion which will go up to the Atlantic Union branch in King George. And I will send it on Monday or maybe over the weekend if I can get their email address. But I move that the town council of the town of Port Royal designated the town's previously appointed interim town manager, town treasurer, John Anzavino, as primary designee and point of contact at Atlantic Union Bank to ensure that the interim town manager treasurer has the ability to conduct town business and obtain access to all account information so that the town council may be kept fully informed of the town's financial position. I further move that the town council of the town of Port Royal designate, and I want a secondary on this, whoever the town council wants to be, the secondary, designate blank, the duly elected council member of the town of Port Royal as an additional designee and point of contact for Atlantic Union Bank should the interim town manager treasurer be incapacitated or leaves the employee of the town of Port Royal. So I've suggested that as a motion. You just need to fill in the blank as to who you want to be. the
okay, I think we designated, Monica Chanel. Do you still want to do that?
It's fine.
Pardon me?
Yes,
Okay,
What is this now? I'm sorry.
it's a backup in case he's not
For the
available.
designee.
Okay. So I'll get that in motion with the bank if the
Okay,
council adopts the motion.
who would like to? Who would like, I'll make that motion. The mayor can make a motion. I'll make that motion as, Mr. Anzavino read. And, if you could email me the, Mr. Anzavino, if you could send me that in a Word document, I'll then put it onto a fresh piece of paper and the vote, who voted,
Okay,
and execute it as the mayor.
okay.
So then, I made the motion, is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Like I say, to make her the thing.
She's the alternative, yeah.
Well, then, somebody else.
I'll second it.
Okay, let's see, Mr. Long made the motion. Mr. Anzavino has the hard copy of the motion, which he will email to the mayor as soon as possible. The mayor will then rewrite it, including the vote, and attest to the motion and send it back to Mr. Anzavino, correct?
Yes, sir.
Motion made, motion seconded, discussion. Any discussion? All in favor, Mrs. Chenault, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson,
Yeah.
Ms. Golden?
Yes.
Mr. Long votes yes. Thank you. Motion passed unanimous. Okay, that resolves that. We're on a roll.
Okay, last thing I have for you, Mayor, before we go into closed session, I know you have some other items to discuss, but the last thing I have before we go in closed session is just, this is notification to the council that we are bringing on,
Celine Alfors,
Celine Olpers,
excuse
at
me.
a rate of $20 per hour.
Oh, well, she's gonna be doing the minutes. We don't, I was gonna spell it all out, but, since she's gonna be doing it, she knows how to spell it.
And I've noted that she's a Port Royal resident, and I've also noted that in your current budget, you've got $18,000 allocated for expense for town clerk, and you've spent approximately $5,815, so there's room in there for additional expense. There's a little over $12,000. But I've taken that action as your interim manager because the money is allocated, appropriated, the work needs to get done, we're falling behind.
Thank you. Do you think you need a motion to continue?
I just,
Thank
just
you.
notification.
Trying to move things along.
Okay, that concludes my reports, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Boards and commissions, Planning Commission wants to get several maps. One of them will be a large map about 6 feet long by about 4.5 feet, but it will be an aerial of the entire town and with the tax maps so you can see it. And then there will be smaller maps that will zoom in on detail. If you want a detail of the corner, then there will be the aerial blown up. And if you have questions about how we're going to plan for this, what are the issues involved, you'll have a map right there. Instead of putting it on paper, want to put it on vinyl, such that these things can be rolled up and used again and again. And I think we have about $1,500 left in this current budget for the Planning Commission, and we'll try to keep within that. And then Mr. Anzavino, I think, is budgeted already for the other issues cited in the agenda for the budget. That concludes that. Action items, appointment of Bill Henderson to the Planning Commission. Ms. Rowe declined to serve on the Planning Commission. She was included in the original motion for the Planning Commission members. Ms. Rowe, she lives over at the Fox Tavern. She's the sister to Johnny.
Terry.
Oh,
Her name's Terry.
okay.
Her name's Terry.
And Mr. Bill Henderson said that he would like to serve in her place. Therefore, would someone like to make a motion to put Mr. Bill Henderson on the Planning Commission for a term to expire? What is it?
I make a motion.
When do we expire?
Yeah, December 2026.
Okay,
That's when we,
yeah, we'll put his term,
December 31st,
yes.
2026.
Correct. Okay, Ms. Golden made a motion to appoint Bill Henderson for a term to expire December 31, 2026. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Knoll seconds the motion. Motion's on the table. Discussion. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Knoll, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson?
Yeah.
Ms. Golden?
yes.
Alex Long, yes. Thank you. Motion carries unanimous. Next thing, request Commonwealth Attorney to use whatever means necessary to get the passwords and the recordings. We don't have the January.
And that was my fault. I brought the recorder here and I recorded it. I didn't exactly know what happened. It should be on the recorder.
It's not.
That's my fault. Or did I
The
record?
January when Allison was still here.
Allison was here.
Oh, okay. Then I recorded February's thing.
You recorded, there's the special meeting that was on that tape.
Okay, that's what I recorded.
That's, and then a whole bunch of little things. But we're still missing all the tape recordings, to the best of my knowledge, missing all the tape recordings of not just the January meeting, but past meetings.
There was
And,
two reporters, the old one and the new one.
Well,
They were both in there.
Mr. Anzavino was just giving one, I'll let Mr. Anzavino address that.
Yeah, I've gone through the supply closets, I've gone through the desk, I've gone through the file cabinets. I have one handheld, which Ms. Golden provided me. There's no other recorder there in the office. I don't know where it is. I've searched for it. You know, it could be that a better person than me could find it, but we don't have it, and nobody has told us where it is. And, you know, I hate to say this, but, and I'll give you an example. I served as a local government chief executive for 25 years. I had good boards and not so good boards. I served in the town board 13 years as a town manager. The first 10 years were just wonderful. I had the best mayor and council that you could ever ask for. Last 3 years, I had a mayor who came off Capitol Hill, who was a lobbyist and thought that he knew everything better than the town citizens and the town staff, and made life miserable for everybody and practically destroyed the town and was just tough to deal with. Well, after 3 years of that, I was eligible for retirement. I decided to retire and take a job in consulting, which I did. And I'm glad because it was a great life there too. But I had tough feelings about that mayor, and I had tough feelings of that council and the inaction. The night that I decided to retire, they said they were shocked. And they said, the next day they came back and they said, well, what is it, the money? And I said, yeah, no, it's not the money. It's how you all act and react to one another, and how you react to staff, and how you don't defend staff when they need to be defended. And I said, I'm doing this purely because I can, but to send a message to you folks. Well, 5 years later, I was still getting questions from the staff and some of the council members about things that had happened, and I always responded to them. That was my professional responsibility, to leave the town and leave the town better than I found it, and to provide all the information that I had in my head that I could. I haven't had that opportunity to enjoy. I haven't enjoyed that opportunity here from your former manager. She doesn't want to talk to the town, to anybody at the town. And so we've got passwords we're having to recreate. We're having files we have to recreate. We're developing processes. It's like building from the ground up. And so if there's information out there, if there's materials out there that belong to the town, this is a last resort to compel that information to be turned over if it's available. And that's what the mayor is asking for.
It's not available.
But I want you to know that I've been down this road before as the person who suffered. But I had the obligation, I felt as a professional, to interact, because you just don't become a town manager because you get a paycheck. You take it on because it's an obligation, it's a calling, it's a service that you provide to a community. And, you know, and we need that information, is all I'm saying.
Can I say something regarding that?
Right.
Hey, Allison did the zoning, town manager, clerk, and everything for less money than this.
Custodian.
But she loved Port Royal. She put her heart into it. I know that we had, I don't know, it was in a file. I think it was. Maybe the second drawer. All the passwords to everything.
Okay.
And the town email address, I think, was changed because someone had gotten hold of it. I'm trying to think when it was changed, and I can't remember what it was changed to, but
Yeah, I'm not talking about personality. I'm talking about professional obligation.
Professional obligation if professional obligation was afforded to her. Now, I've said before, on the advice of her attorney, that she has retained that he advised no contact. Now, I hired an attorney and I was paying my money. I do what they told me to do. Now, all of this could have been avoided if a simple apology would have been given, but that wasn't given. So, and when she came on board, when Terry left, Terry sabotaged her every move. She had to go and build everything from scratch herself. And that's what she did. Now, I used to have the GoDaddy password. I don't know what it is. I never wrote the password down. All I did, I found my notes from 2021, is I wrote down the steps to how to get from point A to get to where we need to be. I found those from 2021 when Donna and I started to help Allison. I had the password. It was in my head. I haven't been on there in 3 years. She hadn't been on there since October. She doesn't remember the password. I don't know how it's decided that the information that's in somebody's head can be forced out of them, especially when the town hall and the office was rekeyed without council's knowledge, and 6 days, the office was breached. So, I mean, as far as that, she has information in her head, and I just say move forward. We got more fish to fry and bigger fish to fry. God forbid if she'd have dropped dead, we'd be in the same boat.
Trying to see if somewhere in my paperwork at home, I have the town email.
Well, we know what it is. It's Town of Fort Royal, and I know because I was here with her the last day. All of the stuff from her town email, she forwarded it to the town email. It's the Town of Port Royal. I think Town of Port Royal.
VA.
.va. Yes.
.com.
That's it.
Okay, well, that's not the issue, the email, it's everything else,
And it's,
all the other
I would
passwords.
say the files are here. I mean, the files are here. I can't help. I don't know how to find them.
It's just stuff written on a couple of pieces. of
And
paper.
there are files that are in the system. I don't know how to find them, but I don't think that's a
Well,
process.
I've queried the system based upon the records that are in the system, but, okay, if it's whatever the council wants to do, but the fact of the matter is, I'm just informing you of what, I've informed you before of what I've found, and we're at a point where we'll bring some folks in, there'll be an obligation for cost, we'll continue to recreate passwords, but I have not been able to find the passwords in the files. And it's important that we have them so that we can access the website. We also have accounts with the Virginia Resources Authority. We have accounts with utility companies. We have accounts with other vendors, and they're all password driven. And so we're having to recreate all of those. And, it would just be simple if somebody would if the person who had them would just give them to us. And I know that she's not going to do it. So this is a last resort to try to compel that. And I didn't bring it up. It's, the mayor requested that it be placed on the agenda. But, I'm trying to do the best job I can for you folks. with the
Those
time that I've
folders
got.
were in there, not to
Mhm.
interrupt you, but like Virginia Resources and all those, there's folders in there for all that.
Oh, there's limited folders for some of this stuff. If you go in there, there's empty drawers of files. And I don't know where the files went.
A professional would have files, and there would be a logical filing system for this very, very critical information. Mr. Anzavino states that he has looked and has not found it. Since Ms. Fincham does not want to talk to us and she only speaks to Ms. Golden, why don't you give her one more opportunity? There's an obligation, a fiduciary obligation, to reach out to the proper authorities and seek to have the information brought to this town.
I understand what you're saying, and there would have been a moral obligation for you to apologize for the way that you treated her. I'm just telling you, and it's going to wind up into a lawsuit against the town, and it's just going to be nasty. Because this is the awful behavior has gone on for years. too long. And it's just ridiculous.
I'm not gonna be blackmailed or extorted.
I'm not blackmailing you or extorting you or anything.
No,
I'm just, you said that I was the only one that talked to her.
You're
And I'll
right.
tell you, it is what it is. Do whatever you feel is necessary.
Okay, fine.
It has to be voted on.
Is there a motion? I tell you what, you go back to Miss Bencham and ask her if, out of some professional courtesy, if she would talk to Mr. Anzavino. That would be most helpful. I don't want to go down this road. It is Miss Bencham who is forcing this
No,
issue.
all it would have taken was an apology. You could have gotten everything you
no.
wanted out of her.
I'm not
Point blank
gonna
and
argue
period.
that. I can argue that. That's it. It's that very simple. There's no apology. I did nothing wrong. And again, I did nothing wrong.
We were here tonight. We're here tonight to that.
What happened?
You screamed, you yelled, you foamed at the mouth, you blocked her exit from getting out of the doggone office. You slammed the door.
No, I didn't.
Donna,
But you're the one that slammed the door. When you did not in
we're
January.
not going there. We're talking about before. We're talking about before. Donna, were you not here that night?
I wasn't in there.
We were here.
So I
He-
wasn't in the office.
He called both of y'all in the office while I sat here.
This isn't getting us anywhere, and we're going to move on.
May I say something quick? I wasn't involved in all
I
this.
know.
Could you two go with Mr. Anzavino, just kind of look in the drawers in case something
I was
jogs your
gonna ask,
memory?
but I didn't know if that would be it.
I mean, I'm sure he's already looked in the drawers.
Yeah, I'll look again. If these are public records, there are certain things, personnel records, deals tax, business licenses that, are beyond the public eye, the application forms and the financial reporting. But, just looking through the files, they're all foilable.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who wants to give me any help and be a second set of eyes, I would appreciate it. And I'll be back here next Thursday.
I know Terry used to keep everything in the middle desk drawer.
She just, when we turned in everything, we just.
She took it and Allison had to start from scratch.
That's the last.
I'll take another look in the files.
That's all I would think.
The dollar meals tax thing is in with everything on whatever restaurant it is. Everything's in that folder. Rural Farms and everything should be in one
Yeah.
folder.
Yeah, most of the bill stacks, well, a lot of the stuff's very meager. That's all I'll say. But
Okay, let's move on. Discussion items, town greens, signage options. I think we covered that with the.
No, there's other signs.
Pardon me?
Other signs.
Other signs. What are these other signs?
Town green
I don't know.
options and issues.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You didn't print off the other signs. I have them on my phone. I can pass them around.
if you pass them around.
All right. I had different signs. The message center. I had allotted $2,500 for a message center. I found one for $1,100. You can either go vertical or, and I thought maybe going this way, but I thought maybe if the wind caught it or something, it would be easier for the door to break because it's going to be glass. So maybe this way, but I'll show you what I have.
Can you get any that aren't glass?
Plexiglass.
Yeah. then what about
I can ask them.
You can also write.
It's engrammed. I'm sorry, go ahead.
it? Yeah. That's not hard.
You said plexi.
No, I don't want to commit my husband to me.
Oh,
Because he builds all this stuff.
oh, okay.
He did the one down at the boat ramp. And he looks for plexiglass and cutting it and everything. So this has glass. Now you're thinking of putting it back where the one that we took down was? Or where you thinking of
It's
putting it?
standalone. Bowling Green has one, like as you walk up, like right next to that bench there.
Uh-huh.
It'll be standalone. So we don't have to block the new windows.
18 by 24. That is kind of small.
That's what I was gonna ask y'all too. Do you want a bigger one? They have all different
Yeah,
sizes.
'cause that would be like
Yeah.
like
I
that.
might have 2 pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Well, if I can get it bigger, but it'd be along that.
Can you post on both sides or just?
Well, I was gonna get it on one side.
Don't they still have one down there by the that place? What do you call it? Oh, the brick building that's falling apart.
Lyceum.
Yeah, isn't there one still there?
Oh, no, I haven't looked.
It was there last time I walked. But I walked down there.
We need to
But I
move
just meant
on. We need to
something
move
similar
on.
to
Well, you
that.
want me to make the decision on the signs then?
Instead of doing 1100, once you, what?
No, I mean, I have a sign for a Port Royal Town Green sign.
For what?
Port Royal Town Green, please enjoy responsibly.
Well, you have $2,500 left.
I understand. Trust me, when I say everything's within budget.
I think Ms. Golden was trying to keep the council apprised of
Okay.
what she's going to do, and if you have no objections to it, and the budget's still there, she's being conscientious.
By consensus then, and get things moving, I'm okay. Ms. Chanel,
I'm fine with it.
Ms. Wilkerson,
I would like to see them before you place the order.
Oh, yeah, I showed it to you.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, send me right your email.
It's just my name at hotmail.com.
Okay. I agree with it. Y'all look at them.
okay, are we finished with signing?
And you add festivals to the agenda.
Yeah.
Festival discussion.
Ms. Chanel, you have.
Well, we're basically out of time. HPR is pressing. I've gotten emails from Carrie Holland. I've gotten emails from Bill Gusick, and I've gotten emails from some of the pirates. I know Donna has said that she doesn't want to do Pirate Festival, but maybe something else. So I was thinking maybe we could just meet at some point in time to discuss what we want to do. I think HPR will partner with us. I don't foresee us having time to get a fall festival going, but I would like to do something, and this is something David has been pushing for as well, to get official large festivals going again with support of HPR, which would also give us maybe some county support, which we did not have before. So this is a discussion. I don't think we need to vote on it tonight, but can you advise me, does that sound okay to respond to HPR that we will entertain festivals for next year?
Go for it.
Is that okay?
Yep.
I just note that there's, based upon previous year's budget, there's $3,000 of seed money allocated in the new fiscal year as well. So there's some money to work with if the council approves it as part of the budget.
Okay, let's see. You gave us the VRA audit requirements, Dominion Energy rate increase notifications.
I was just looking at that. What is the amount? It just says, there's nothing on there.
No penalty. They just want the audits for their records.
No, that's the VRA, the Dominion one.
Oh, okay,
It says there's going to be a new,
okay. The reason you don't have it is this is the rate filing.
okay.
It's available in our office if you'd like to look at it. And this is the other rate file. I typically don't make copies of those because their council members typically don't read. And
I just want to know what the basic increase is going to be.
you can have at it.
Okay.
Okay, are you satisfied with that?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Jeff, we're going to go in a closed session, therefore, if you would like to start packing up, there's no reason for you to, can't record a closed session. There therefore you might as well start packing up. And, when we come out of closed session, we'll take written notes.
The back.
Okay.
It looks just like this.
Let's, are we ready? Should I read the, closed section pursuant?
Yeah, I think you want to do this the right way, so this is verbatim out of the state code, and.
Can we have a quick break before we do this?
Well, I was thinking that if the council is agreeable, that we could go into read the closed session, and then, once we're in closed session, take a recess for 5-10 minutes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
stand soon.
And that way, Mr. Boyd can pack up, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Do you want to read the,
Okay, this is a proposed motion to enter closed session. I move to convene a closed session with Port Royal Town Council in accordance with section 2.2-4711, paragraph A, subsection 1, to discuss personnel matters relating to the selection of a new town manager.
okay, is there a second to the motion? Well, excuse me.
Somebody needs to make that motion. I'm not on.
Yeah. I would like to make the motion which Mr. Anzavino just read. That's the motion, and it's written here in the agenda. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Motion is seconded. Discussion? Any discussion? All in favor? Ms. Chenault, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ms. Wilkerson, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Ms. Golden, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Long votes yes. We're in closed session. Having been in closed session, we'll take a 10-minute recess.